Navy SEALs. Navy SWCCs. The two entities that make up Naval Special Warfare. What sets them apart? What do they have in common? What can they do? Let's take a dive into what you need to know about Navy SEALs and Navy SWCCs. SEAL stands for Sea, Air, and Land, and SWCC stands for Special Warfare Combatant-Craft Crewman. They are two of the Navy's premier fighting forces, each bringing different skills to the table in the world of NSW. SEALs are known as team guys, and SWCCs are known as boat guys. Many people know what SEALs are, but not many people know about SWCCs. This is the SEAL Trident, and this is the SWCC pin. There's actually 3 of them, but we'll get more into that later. Okay, let's get to what you came here for. We're going to dive in and go over their capabilities, missions, and opportunities. The only easy day was yesterday. That's the motto of the Navy SEALs. That should give you some insight on what these warriors stand for. Navy SEALs always strive to better themselves and never shy away from a challenge. On time, on target, never quit. That's the motto of Navy SWCC. That, too, should speak for itself on what SWCCs go by day to day. They excel at what they do it right, and they never back down. So, what do Navy SEALs and SWCCs do differently? Well, quite a lot. SEALs' main functions are conducting small unit special operations missions in maritime, jungle, urban, Arctic, mountainous, and desert environments. They're typically tasked to capture or to eliminate high-level targets or to gather intelligence behind enemy lines. Some of their other missions include direct action warfare, special reconnaissance, counterterrorism, and foreign internal defense. SWCCs, on the other hand, are trained extensively in crafts and weapon tactics, techniques, and procedures, and provide dedicated, rapid mobility in shallow water areas where large ships cannot operate. Their capabilities include direct action through coastline or rivers, such as strikes, captures, and ship takedowns by VBSS, special reconnaissance, coastal patrol, and interdiction of suspect ships and surface craft. SWCCs specialize in swift mobility, having a high level of training in tactical driving and convoy operations, and play a key role in hot infiltration and exfiltration, often aiding SEALs when doing so. SEALs are more of a boots-on-ground, combatant dive-capable element, whereas SWCCs typically operate on their boats. Another fun fact, SWCCs are more engineer-oriented than their SEAL counterparts. They maintain and repair their boats because they need to be able to do whatever means necessary if something were to go south during a mission. So we mentioned SEALs dive, and, well, SWCCs don't. Their missions don't call for it. Both communities do attend jump school and freefall school, however. And while we're on training schools, we'll mention their opportunities. Both SEALs and SWCCs can attend the Special Operations Combat Medic course or Special Operations Tactical Medic course, and both can become JTACs. They can also go to schools like Desert Survival, Jungle Survival, Cold Water Survival, the NSW Combat Fighting course, Tactical Driving, and much more. Where they separate, however, did you run out of coffee and dip? Need something to get you going? Put this bad boy above your bed and wake up every morning with some 100% American motivation, designed by your boy Tommy T. Links in the description. Now back to the video. This is what schools like Sniper School and the like. SEALs will get more opportunities with stuff like that because they have a wider responsibility for their missions and purpose. SWCCs will go to schools that aim to build proficiency in anything having to do with their boat operations. In addition, SWCCs are more frequently attending the U.S. Army's Air Assault School. Another key difference between SEALs and SWCCs is the fact that SWCCs are enlisted only. While there are opportunities for senior enlisted personnel to become warrant officers, almost all SWCCs are enlisted. SEALs, however, are both enlisted and officer. There are also several more SEALs than there are SWCCs. In fact, there are less than 1,000 SWCCs in the Navy, meaning they are a very small and tight-knit community. You now know some key similarities and differences between SEALs and SWCCs. Next, we're going to go over the structure of NSW, as well as go over where you can be stationed as a SEAL or SWCC. After that, we will go over the training pipelines and requirements for both of them. Alright, Let's get into the structure of NSW, which includes the SEAL teams and boat teams. Naval Special Warfare Command is broken down into groups, which are further broken down into teams. There's NSW Group 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, and 11. Group 1 has SEAL Team 1, 3, 5, and 7. Group 2 has SEAL Teams 2, 4, 8, and 10. Group 3 has STV Teams 1 and 2. Group 4 has Special Boat Teams 12, 20, and 22. Group 10 has the NSW support activities. And Group 11 has the SEAL Reserve Teams 17 and 18. Oh, and how could we forget? There is Dev Group, otherwise known as SEAL Team 6, which is its own group. Now that you know how Naval Special Warfare Command is broken down, let's get into where you can be stationed if you find yourself in either of these communities. We'll start off with the SEALs. As a SEAL, you can be stationed at SEAL Teams 1, 3, 5, and 7 on the West Coast, and SEAL Teams 2, 4, 8, and 10 on the East Coast. There are also 2 STV teams, 1 and 2 respectively, with 1 being in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, and 2 in Little Creek, Virginia. SEAL Teams 17 and 18, which are reserve teams, are at Coronado, California, and Little Creek, Virginia. And then there's Dev Group, which is at Dam Neck, Virginia. As a SEAL, you can be stationed at any of these locations. Now onto the SWCCs. As a SWCC, you can be stationed at Special Boat Team 12, which is out of Coronado, California, Special Boat Team 20, which is out of Little Creek, Virginia, and Special Boat Team 22, which is at the John C. Stennis Space Center in Mississippi. You can also go to Dam Neck, Virginia, if you find yourself in Dev Group. If you become a SWCC, you'll be stationed at any of these locations. Alright, now you know where you might be stationed if you become a Navy SEAL or SWCC. Now you're probably wondering what kind of training is required for both of these. Let's get into it. Before we get into the training, you'll probably notice something about both of their pipelines. SEALs and SWCCs attend several of their beginning stages of their training together, from boot camp to pre-BUDS to basic orientation. They split off once SEAL candidates go to first phase and BUDS, and SWCC candidates go into BCS. Like we said, these two communities are very close. We'll go over the SEALs pipeline first, and then the SWCCs pipeline. We won't go in depth on SEAL training like we will with SWCC training, because there's a ton of information out there on the Navy SEAL pipeline, as well as the fact that we've covered SEALs several times on our channel. So if you're an avid General Discharge viewer, you should pretty much be an expert on the SEALs at this point. We'll point you to our other videos on SEALs at the end of the video if you haven't seen them yet. The list of schools you'll need to get through to become a Navy SEAL are Navy Boot Camp, 8 weeks. NSW Prep, or Pre-BUDS, 8 weeks. Basic Orientation, or BO, 3 weeks. Basic Underwater Demolition / SEAL Training, or BUDS, 6 months. SEAL Qualification Training, SQT, 6 months. They also attend jump school and free fall school. The attrition rate for Navy SEAL training is roughly 1 in 5. It is arguably the most difficult military training in the entire world. Now on to the SWCC pipeline. Navy Boot Camp, 8 weeks. NSW Prep, or Pre-BUDS, 8 weeks. Basic Orientation, BO, 3 weeks. Basic Crewman Selection, BCS, 7 weeks. Basic Crewman Training, BCT, 7 weeks. Crewman Qualification Training, CQT, 14 weeks. The SWCC pipeline is also very challenging, grueling, and has a high attrition rate. A lot of the physical evolutions they endure are very similar to the Navy SEALs ones. They do ocean swims, Hauser line PT, which is kind of like log PT, beach runs, the BUDS obstacle course, and many, many other things. So, like we said, SWCCs go to BCS when SEALs go to BUDS first phase. We'll go over what SWCCs go through as far as training goes at the split-off. First up is BCS. BCS is the gut check of the pipeline where the attrition rate is the highest. There will be plenty of running, ocean swims, obstacle courses, and all-around physically demanding evolutions. They have what is called the Tour, which is their equivalent of what SEAL candidates Hell Week is. It is a 3-day-long event with little sleep where candidates will be pushed to their limits. Once BCS is over with, BCT is next. At BCT, you'll learn basic special operations maritime skills, including navigation, gunnery, communications, combat medicine, engineering, and small boat seamanship. After BCT comes CQT. CQT is composed of 2 sections, basic and advanced. In the basic section, they learn TCCC, which stands for Tactical Combat Casualty Care. basic combat skills, small and heavy weapons training, engineering, and criteria involving their SWCC boats. In the advanced section, they learn communications, boat handling and navigation, and have their training be put to the test before they are finished. This phase culminates with both SWCC and SEAL candidates conducting joint mission planning, rehearsal, and execution of a special operations mission. After completion of CQT, they attend SEER school in a week-long cross-cultural competence course. Then they are awarded this pin. That's the SWCC basic pin. There's the SWCC senior pin and the SWCC master pin as well. Each are earned as a SWCC advances through their career by earning qualifications, ranking up, and mastering their trade. Okay, so now you know what schools you'll be expected to attend and get through if you decide to embark on either of these journeys. But do you even qualify to give it a shot? Let's see. The great thing about these communities is that you can join both of them as a civilian, and you may have the opportunity to cross-rate into them if you're active duty in the Navy. Just keep in mind that the only way you can 100% get a shot at training is by joining with an SO or SB contract. SO is for SEAL, SB is for SWCC. There is no guarantee you'll be able to get a shot at training if you're active duty. It is a much more complex process that you don't want to put yourself under if you don't have to. We're going to show you pictures of the basic requirements for SEALs and SWCCs. Pause the screen to take a longer look. Here are the requirements for the SEALs, and here are the requirements for SWCCs. We won't be going over how to get into these communities if you're active duty, as that can take up its own video. The last basic requirement you'll have to do to join either of these communities is by passing the PST, which stands for Physical Screening Test. A PST consists of a 500-yard swim with a 10-minute rest afterwards, max push-ups in 2 minutes with a 2-minute rest afterwards, max sit-ups in 2 minutes with a 2-minute rest afterwards, max pull-ups with a 10-minute rest afterwards, and a 1.5 mile run. These communities have slightly different minimum scores for the PST. Here are the PST minimums for them. On the left side of the screen is the SEAL minimums, and on the right side are the SWCC minimums. As you can see, SWCC minimums are a little bit easier to obtain, but in the end, that doesn't really matter much. Shoot for much more than the minimum. There's a PST calculator on the SEAL SWCC website that we will refer you to at the very end of the video, so stick with us to the end to see if you'd have a decent shot at getting a SEAL or SWCC contract. Alright, now you know the basic requirements for both Navy SEALs and SWCCs. But don't go just yet. We're about to wrap up the video and leave you with some valuable resources to go check out about both of these communities, as we can't cover everything in detail in just this video. During this video, you learn that the Navy SEALs and SWCCs are quite similar, yet very different. Navy SEALs have a wider scope of missions and capabilities, whereas SWCCs focus on small boat operations. SEALs have combatant dive capabilities, whereas SWCCs do not. But at the end of the day, both of them are a part of NSW, and both of them need each other to get the job done. Okay, now we're going to leave you with some resources for both of these communities. We'll leave a link in the description to the PST calculator we mentioned to you, as well as the official SEAL SWCC website, which offers a plethora of information on how to join both of these communities. We have also done several videos on the Navy SEALs, as well as one on SWCCs. Go check them out if you haven't already. And, if you like the Versus video format, we've done other videos like this. The thumbnails on screen are the Versus videos we've done so far. The links to these will all be in the description below. Well, that is the down and dirty of the Navy SEALs and Navy SWCCs. If you learned something from this video, make sure to give us a like and subscribe to our channel. As always, thank you for watching. Do you even want to be here? A big shout out to all of our patrons over at our Patreon. Thank you all so much for taking the extra step in supporting our channel. It is much appreciated. If you'd like to be featured on a General Discharge video, go give our Patreon a look and join the team. Here's Nick Naja.
All your friends are subscribing to General Discharge, and you don't even want to be here.